How does a total coding noob win the Berkley University Hackathon? No, seriously. Bribery? Nepotism? He overwhelmed them with his Lannister-like locks. Nope. Photoshop. Welcome back, XDA crowd. My name is Jayce, and yes, we speak to John Scott, who is a doctoral student at the Berkley University for new media. And yes, to make it very clear, he is not a developer. He has no coding background. In fact, even his team members that won the hackathon are not computer science engineering students. They have no coding background themselves. What John brought is his vision and his Photoshop skills. The rest of his team had basic wireframing skills, they were very tech savvy, and they solved a real problem in a meaningful way to win the $500 cash prize that would help them complete the app and eventually go live. What became very clear after interviewing John and other hackathon winners in the past is that their solutions are deceptively simple and solve real problems like this one.
Picture yourself provides an opportunity for students to imagine themselves in college that would ordinarily not consider themselves college material, and it gives them really simple access to lots of information and materials that they need to navigate the college application process. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that first you always need the idea people. You need people that are going to bring fresh ideas that have some background in whatever the kind of mission is, right? And so in this case, college access, being of an educational background, having worked with youth, that gave me some important insights into thinking about what the app should do. The other thing that I did, which was helpful, I do have Photoshop skills coming in, and so being able to kind of put together some layouts and looks and things like that was also pretty helpful for our group. But it's just amazing how you can make such simple kind of wireframes and stuff in PowerPoint just through hyperlink buttons. I mean, it's super simple. I looked it up online before I went. It took me 5 minutes to learn how to create a button that you could actually press and hit another page. And so, you know, that process is such a simple process that anybody who's ever used PowerPoint could learn very quickly, and you could immediately start making pretty robust app designs. And that kind of look and feel real, that because they're clickable and they're touchable. So, you know, I think that that's the best way. If you don't have back-end programming skills, you can totally design an interface and really rock and roll with it. It's cool. And so we developed just a series of wireframes that were clickable. I don't recall the name actually of the prototype app that we were using. One of the guys in the group had a program. I mean, we were building stuff out in Photoshop image-wise and things like that, but it was getting plugged into a kind of an app prototype program, and the name is actually escaping me right now. But that allowed us to just make things kind of clickable, so that you can move around and see what it would look like and feel like.
Now, what John is talking about here is a Mac app called Tumult Hype, but PC users can use Adobe Edge Animator and another one called A5 HTML5 Animator.
Yeah, it was a little bit of like a speed dating thing, kind of people made their way around the room. There was also, some people came kind of with their teams, so the bulk of the participants were undergrads who had heard about the hackathon. And the undergrads came in kind of teams, and then the rest of the people that were kind of there solo were kind of able to just kind of form groups fairly naturally. So there wasn't a real formal group forming process. It was more or less by default. I believe it was kind of 3 judging criteria, which included kind of you know, the content behind the app. So would it actually help people in terms of college access? Was it kind of playful or innovative or interesting? And then also, would it be kind of feasible to actually do it? Because the UCOP was very interested or hopeful that 1 or 2 of the apps designs that came out of it, that they could think about actually getting it built. Mm-hmm. And so there was kind of a long-term vision with this hope that an app could actually happen. And it seems that we are in the process of making that happen, which is pretty exciting.
Well, so you're actually going to publish this app?
So yeah, so there's some different negotiations that have to go on in terms of the funding and how it's all going to get divvied up. But I'm working with a guy named Ted Curran and another undergraduate student named Kyle. So we were the original team for this Picture Yourself, and it looks like that our app is going to be pursued and try to find opportunities for it to actually get built.
Great.
Yeah, we can do a lot of the designing, wireframes, the content, that stuff. And then we would kind of pass that over to a group of programmers, probably undergrads, that could actually build it out. I mean, I definitely think that the most challenging thing is the speed. You know, you're feeling the pressure of the clock to work very fast. And when you're on your computer, anytime you're trying to work fast on your computer, things move slow, right? Like all of a sudden the internet, you're trying to, rip images out of the internet, it's moving slow, you're trying to find stuff. The other challenge with the group was figuring out a kind of collaborative space to put all of your images in docs. And so we ended up just loading up right away a Google Doc and a Google Drive folder where we could just upload images that we were grabbing that we were going to use for the design interface and just throwing everything up there. So you had a cloud space where you could assemble things and work in that way. I think that's really important for speed. What I would have liked to have done is done a little bit more research around like really popular apps. I don't use a ton of apps. I mean, I have an iPhone, I have apps on it. But like the one guy in our group, he just seemed like he really understood what apps looked like, what the trendy, like he was able to really just do like aesthetically a spin-off of kind of this Instagram type of look. And I was amazed at how fast he was able to do that. And the other thing that he was really good at that I wish I had been able to prepare for earlier was like searching out the different buttons and like like a camera button, for instance. There's a million of them when you do a search, and you want to look for those PNG files, obviously, so you don't have to cut things out. And so if I wish that I had kind of collected or thought about an archive of those little buttons and fonts and images and things like that beforehand, because that can really improve your speed. Even if you don't have an idea yet what your actual design will be, just to have that archive of buttons and fonts and things is awesome for the design process. It can just really improve the look of it, because when you're going to present it for the judges, they're certainly thinking about what the app is going to do, but they also, the eye test, you wanted it to pass the eye test. And so having it look really clean from a design perspective and having it feel like it's an app that people have on their phone already, I think is really important. Yeah, I mean, I just think, and I think that you have to first just get over your anxiety around the technology, because everything has become so simple. It's just so simple to design and to prototype. And so you have to get over that initial anxiety and trust your instincts, because we all use the technologies and we all have firsthand experience with the things. And so that's the first part is just really picturing yourself as a designer. I mean, we have an app called Picture Yourself, and I think everybody can be a designer and can think in a design way. And in that perspective, you have something to contribute at a hackathon, and I think something very valuable to contribute.